It's Frank and Candid time. We get some commercials. And when we come back, it's your time to make your call and have your input here on ZIZ Radio.
ZIZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
Gift for Dad's birthday? Click. Ooh, Janice's retirement party? Click. Outfit for my girl's wedding? Click.
With TDC Airbox, you click, we ship. Register for your free U.S. mailbox today and shop all your favorite stores online. Enjoy the convenience. Free consolidation up to 10 pounds. Competitive rates. Free package tracking account with live notifications. Free delivery and, of course, excellent customer service. Visit our website at tdcairbox.com and register today. For more information, visit our offices at the C.A. Paul Industrial Site in St. Kitts and Penny's Industrial Site in Nevis. Follow us on social media at TDC Airbox. TDC Airbox. You click, we ship. Terms and conditions apply.
Available at IC Jewelers.
Black Friday is back at Pandora Jewelry with a full week of savings. Starting November 24th through December 1st, enjoy 35% off your entire purchase. Catch your favorite pieces now and find meaningful gifts for everyone on your list at 35% off. Shop your local Pandora Jewelry store today. Offer valid only at participating Pandora retailers. Restrictions apply. See stores for details.
Visit IC Jewelers today or call 466-5853 and take advantage of our pre-Black Friday 35% off special every day.
Phone Doctor on Victoria Road across from the Sol gas station are having a Black Friday sale this Friday, 27th November.
Static.
Phone Doctor carries a wide range of mobile devices, tablets, laptops, sound and gaming systems, and other electronics. Visit Phone Doctor for your Black Friday deals on Friday, 27th November.
Season's greetings to all your days. Republic can give you more. Whether we're together or virtually, let Republic help you open the door. So share the love, let's find a way. Have a real good Christmas, happy holidays. It's happening, Christmas is happening at Republic.
You deserve a Merry Christmas. Let's help you make it happen at Republic Bank today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
It's another Black Friday sale happening at Best for Less at the corner of Keon and Church Street and on the Bay Road. It's 3 days of sale starting Thursday, November 26th until Saturday, November 28th. Get 20% off store-wide, including new stocks, except specials. We also have special prices on microwave ovens, smart TVs, air conditioners, washing machine, stoves with oven, area rugs, and much, much more. At Best for Less, we have the widest variety of items, too numerous to mention. For your shopping convenience, we open Thursday from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday and Saturday from 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. It's another Black Friday sale happening at Best for Less.
Thank you for calling the St. Kitts Electricity Company Limited. Our offices are now closed.
Skelec is excited to introduce a new 24-hour automated call-in service. Simply call 465-2000 to report faults, to receive bill balances, and make bill payments. Yes, that's right. You can now make bill payments over the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Skelec's interactive voice response system. Access it now at 465-2000. Skelec, powering responses.
This is it! Quartz is having an epic Black Friday weekend. It's the last call for mega Black Friday savings. This is your chance to experience unbelievable deals all weekend long. It's last call on TVs, washers, and cookers, price up to 50% off. It's last call on amazing bedding and furniture offers. It's last call for 60% off all toys and inflatables. Last call for 40% off selected rugs and accessories. Plus, fantastic doorbuster deals every day. Every day is Black Friday. You don't want to miss these epic final deals for the month of November. Offer valid for a limited time, Friday 27th to Sunday 29th. Conditions apply. See in store for details. COVID-19 protocols will be strictly enforced. Quartz, bringing value home.
Catch
real talk with real people on Frank and Candid with you, the people of St. Kitts and Nevis. Monday through Friday from 11 a.m.
It's Frank and Candid on ZIZ Radio.
Good morning. Pleasant Friday morning. It's Friday again. 27th November 2020. We give God, Almighty God, thanks once again for grace and love and mercy and compassion and blessings of all kinds, which we do not deserve. You better believe it. Matter of fact, when I look and listen and hear and learn about what's happening all over the world, countries close to us and very far away from us, countries large and small, countries rich and poor, and I consider what's happening there, compare what's happening there with what's happening here, I can't help but conclude that we are fortunate to be living in this part of the world in times like these, under these circumstances and all of that, because some of what we read about and hear about in other parts of the world make us cry. Those of us who are concerned about our brothers and sisters in whatever part of the blue planet they find themselves, because all of us are part of one family of God. But believe it or not, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of what is happening around the world is painful. Some of us can't begin to fathom it because we have never experienced it, and it doesn't appear to threaten us even on the horizon. So that compared to others, we are living in a paradise. Figuratively speaking, of course. But we need to remember the suffering of our brothers and sisters all over the world, men, women, and children. And I don't know why everywhere it seems to be said that women and children in particular, as if it's okay for men to suffer, but not so for women and or children. All of us, we have the same frailties, the same abilities to do right and to do wrong, and we suffer the same pains, anguish and misery. And around the world, brothers and sisters, there's a lot of evil, a lot of injustice, a lot of wrong taking place, and it pains us sometimes to consider them. Of course, the Bible commands, not just recommends, it commands that we should think about things only which are pure and honest and good report and positive and so on. But it's difficult to do that sometimes when you're bombarded left, right and center. When you turn on the radio, turn on the television, go on your phones, on your iPads and so on, all we're hearing and seeing, well, not all, but a lot of what we're hearing and seeing is negative. Today is Black Friday. Now, Black Friday is supposed to be a day when people do a lot of shopping. Alright? It's a day when stores, businesses are supposed to make a lot of money. Maybe that is why it is referred to as Black Friday, because one of the very few times when the word black is used is in reference to profits of businesses. When you're in the black, you're doing well. When you're not doing well, you're in the red. Not in the white, mind you. You're not in the white. When you're not doing well, you're in the red. But most of the time when we hear anything black, it's something negative, something destructive, something unpleasant. Today is Black Friday then. And you wonder why that term. I am assuming, not necessarily hoping, that the connection is made because businesses are expected to make big profit today, and so they would end up in the black. Let's hope that's it. Alright, today is an open line. We don't have any special guests today, as we should, a couple of days in next week. So we are free to discuss whatever is on our minds today, Friday 27th, Black Friday. What are your views on that? Now, a number of persons meet me and in fact call me sometimes and say, hey, I listen to the program. I'm not the kind to call in, but I'd like you to raise this topic. I'd like you to talk about this particular issue. I'd like to hear what others have to say about this matter. but they themselves never contribute to the discussion by making a call, whether it is to ask a question, correct some information or misinformation, or seek clarification, etc. One of the things I've been asked to talk about, for example, is the vendors, the perennial, eternal matter of the vendors in Bastille in particular, and in downtown Bastille at that. And we know this has been going on for a long time. We all remember when Dwight Astafan did something practical when he attempted to convert the old C. Haley building into a space for vendors to congregate and peddle their goods. And that did not turn out very successful. And as a result, well, not as a result, but since then, situation has seen exponential growth with much of the sidewalk space, many sidewalks being occupied by persons plying their wares of all kinds: food, drink, electronics, clothing, shoes, literature. People are just everywhere. I mean, it's really amazing that we haven't had more accidents than we have had. It's interesting that we haven't had more fights than we have had, in terms of persons jostling one another and accidentally, or sometimes not so accidentally, pushing one another off the sidewalks and so on to create space. It's really congested, and we've been talking about it for a long time. Action has been promised, none has been delivered. You know, we're big on talk and very slow when it comes to implementation. Let's take this caller, see what he has to say. Good morning, caller.
Yes, and good morning, Mr. Blake.
Yes, sir.
You doing good?
As per usual.
Okay, as usual. Well,
yeah, when I'm not doing well, I won't be here.
I ain't going in front of you, you know.
Yeah, when I'm not doing well, I won't be here.
Okay.
You better believe that. I won't be forcing myself to turn up when I'm not in good spirits or good shape.
Right. Well, if you're not doing well, you're there good still, because you will be full up with water.
I see.
All right. lovely topic, even though we have an open program. Now, Mr. Blake, I am saying this, and this is something have been said for a long time, and up to this week. Rastafari without locks. My brother Carlton Jupan, he been stressing on it. Abusiveness of woman from man. Now, you got some man feel well then, because them and the girlfriend or the woman, as we call it, they fall out, the woman decide to go another street, and he ain't want to go, or whatever, and she tell him she done. They're going to threaten the woman and tell her, if me can't get you, nobody else going to get you. And all kind of things happen after them kind of threats. Sometimes some woman would go and make a complaint to the police, and the police then will go and address the situation. But the bad thing about this now, when any woman life being threatened, they must not keep it to themselves. Go to the pastor or teacher, somebody who you could trust. Do not breach your confidentiality. And make sure you go to the police and get a report that you make it deal. Because too many women walking around in this country, you're being raped by man, sexually raped, and they're afraid to go forward with it. All because the perpetrator threaten them, if you say anything, I'll kill you. And all the kind of thing there, them think they must be addressed. Go forward, woman. Because them perpetrators, they up and walking in the street and watching you and grinning and smiling and boasting and telling people what they do, and they can't do nothing otherwise they this and that. Where only them and could kill. Go to the police, and anything happen, you don't got a statement or record out there. So I am calling on ladies, come forward, don't keep them on yourself no way. No man has no way to rape no woman. And my suggestion, the solution for rapists is to cut off the private. That's one. And second one is to wrap up the private in a condom with a scorpion in it. Thank you, Brother Blake. Who wants to say I sound like a criminal? That's the business.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. I wonder to what extent is it true that men threaten women with murder if they were to report the abuse that they're subject to. I'm not so sure. But definitely, the question is, how do we get men to treat women the way they ought, and how do we get men to respect women? And when we speak of men, when we speak of respecting women, we're talking about respecting their person, their body, and respecting their point of view, their position. How do we get men to do that? I really don't know. I'm not one of those who's hopeful that the current crop of men, adult men, we can reach them, and that they can change. Apart from the intervention of Jesus Christ himself, I think a lot of these men are positioned where they're incorrigible. And so again, I am saying, let's teach children, I'm coming to that call in a minute, in less than a minute, but let's teach children from early o'clock how to respect women. Introduce parenting in schools. Let's take this caller. Hello?
Yeah, Brother Blake, you have said the answer correctly. Let us teach children, especially men, to respect women at an early age. Now, you see where he started in the school. I get a lot of licks in school to learn this foolishness from a female teacher. Boys and girls mix up in the same class. Hear them. What are the little boys made of? Snaps and snail, alligator tail, rusty nail and puppy dog tail. So that's them here. Them little boys, they make up out of nothing good and nice. And then hear them now. And what are the little girls made of? Sugar and spice and all that's nice, and say it once and say it twice. That's what the little girls are made of. So what are telling the little boy them? Eh? The little girl them. Do not respect little boys. Cause that is what they're made up of. Things that is not good. Anyway, have a good day again. I go on.
Yes, I am going to be on this platform. I'm going to be conducting this crusade further until I see action. I have always complained, I've been complaining, and I put it in my book. It's a part of my book, my second book, that we attempt in school to prepare students for the world of work, to some extent for the world of adulthood, but nothing at all about the world of parenthood. And those three are what really all youngsters are going to grow up to be. Right? All of them are going to become adults. All right? That is inevitable. It's a chronological inevitability. As you go, you move from childhood to youth to adulthood. That cannot be stopped. It's a part of the inexorable march of time. Then, of course, for work, most of them, the vast majority of them, will enter the field of work, different areas, of course. And, of course, many of them become parents. We know that a number of them become parents even while they are still minors, juveniles. They become parents long before they become adults. They become parents long before they become workers. And some of them, of course, are going to become parents several times over. You might stay in one job like I have. I remained in the field of education all my life until I was transferred to the diplomatic field in recent times. I've been a teacher, an educator all my life. But persons may change from job to job. But many of them will remain, follow a particular career. But the vast majority of them are going to become parents, both male and female. Why aren't we deliberately, conscientiously teaching, preparing our youth about this very vital facet of life? I can trace a lot of societal problems back to the absence of parenting or poor parenting. And poor parenting, just like poor teaching, is just as bad or worse than no parenting at all. Because how else are children expected to know a lot of things? Teaching begins at home. Learning begins at home. The parent is the first and most important teacher in a child's life. But if the parents don't know what it is themselves to be parents, how can they pass this information on to their children? So I believe that we should really consider that. Problems with abuse of self and abuse of others can be solved, I believe, if parents start teaching their children, if children begin to learn from early o'clock what it means to respect oneself and to respect others. To respect others, including their reputation, to respect others, including their property, and to respect others, including their person. So, a lot of women suffer abuse, and it's a complex matter. It's a complex, complicated, intricate, delicate matter. Alright? I don't believe a lot of women refuse to report threats to their lives or abuse because of open threats by the male or vice versa. I believe there are many other factors which combine and converge to create this issue. Alright? Not just a matter of threats. I believe that sometimes there are no threats at all. But the women just refuses to report. I think also in some cases the women really don't want their men to be incarcerated. They don't want their men to go to prison. They just want the abuse to stop. They don't even mind continuing to live with the individual. They just want the abuse to stop. So the question is, how do we get the abuse to stop without necessarily locking up the individual? Now sometimes the abuse is so egregious, so brutal that it really exacts. It requires the exacting of some kind of punishment. But I think in many cases the victims of the abuse would really just prefer that the abuse stop. Right? And a lot of them remain, as we know, in these conditions because the abuser promises to stop. He promises to stop. Sometimes he cries. He he's so repentant and all of that, that the abusee, the person being abused, believes him, gives him the benefit of the doubt, gives him the second chance. And the abuse continues. And it's a cycle. But I believe that in many cases, the person being abused really would prefer that the abuser stops his behavior rather than have him locked away. Let's take this caller. Hello?
Hello, good morning. Happy Friday. Last Friday in November. Last Friday. The teacher last Friday.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, that really does happen. When you think, right? You try to want to be with them forever, but when you think they're going to finish, they come telling you, yes, sorry. And when you look, they won't stop the abuse. I have a problem like that, right? You take them and they come back so gentle and nice and say, oh, we're going to behave, this and that. And when you look this uppermost thing in the night, you think it's right, Mr. Blake, that you're with a friend, you're with a spouse.
A partner.
And you and he may get a little vexation also. But all like 12, 1 o'clock at night, they don't be just foaming down the place, making noise in the neighborhood. Like somebody who have a mental problem. And you're going to ask him, why you going on so? Why you getting on? And the man that's going to get to you, the woman, and say, man, no, I don't have to live with this. Because, it's not benefiting us, nothing. Right? And in hiding, you may have a hard talk. And they're going to be low, raising the voice with this mount of F words and foul words. We just call them foul words and so. And nobody else, you and the person here. All they got to do is sit down and work out and say, girl, get me vaccine and I didn't like that way. Not this mode off thing going and you just turn you off and turn you off. And that's why must be a lot of divorce court really thing does so because you can't take that on anymore. You want happiness, you may not rich, but that means you're not supposed to live in peace. Instead of peace, or the person may be trying to say the kind, but in the kindness to you. And the other end, like the abuse, when every time they get a little vexation, they go on like a monster. No man. When I heard women just got to live through them, I don't feel so sorry for them abuse. I said, you ain't got to live through it. You just break it off, the person go their way, you go your way. Him threatening that yet I have me. My spouse they come threatening me, I do this, do that, yes, but they hit on me and then everybody say, well, I believe it's Tom the bonus that because he done pass that remarks. You know, you can't live with that. This is time to live in peace. You ain't rich, but you want to live a peaceful and rich life in you. Not to live in the obsession going. And being a little thing in a week time. Yes, you're going to give something, but what's self-giving it when it ain't like a much benefit? Because you're not enjoying the relationship. The relationship supposed to have enjoyment. Yes, you're going to get vexed. But not the kind of vex I see people get vexed in me and they talk in a manner and they finish. Not pulling down the door and banging your cupboard door and slamming down pots in the kitchen. That hour and night till 11, 12, only we want to live here. Other people live here too, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Abuse takes so many forms. We have another caller. Let's take him or her. Hello? 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 Okay. We've lost the person. Abuse takes so many forms and it affects and afflicts everybody. Children of all ages, persons, individuals of all ages are subject to abuse. I mean, young children, young people, adults and elderly, all are subject to abuse. Boys as well as girls, male as well as female, men as well as women. Of course, statistics suggest that overwhelmingly the abuser tends to be the man and the abusee, the person being abused, tends to be the female of the species. The question is, and again I'm asking, how do we get that to stop? Let's take this caller. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, talk to me.
Hello. Yes, good morning. Now I'm listening to your conversation and someone can only treat you, do to you what you allow them to do to you.
To a large extent, yeah.
For me, speaking as a woman, I always, when my husband and I got together when we were dating, I set a standard. Number one, don't ever call me out of my name. I believe if a man gonna call you a B word and a this word and all kind of garden tools, he have no right to be lying on your belly. That's just me. That's a rule I set for myself. You don't dare cross those lines. You cannot blow in my face again. And when it comes to abusing and beating up on a woman, I'm not gonna let anybody do that to me either. Because we see that too much in the Caribbean and we think it's okay. Because I grew up hearing people say, if a man don't beat me, he don't love me. But brother, you better hate me. You're gonna hate me because you're not putting your hand on me. And that's why it come to people do you what you allow them. They only do what you let them allow to do. You don't let people abuse you. I grew up seeing men abuse my mother, and when she done, she hug up on, oh, that's my boo. Boo my behind. I don't subscribe to that nonsense. No way, no how. And number one, let me tell you, once a man hits you once, look out, he's going to hit you again and again and again. Because you give him that chance to do it, he will never stop. And we, especially in today, these men today, they make up their mind. The only time they're ready to stop is when they put you 6 feet under. You have a blessed day.
Not yet.
Women, let us value ourselves.
Hello, don't go yet. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, give me an idea, give me a suggestion. How do we get the abuse to stop?
Well, my husband's suggestion is you take that man outside, either in the public square, and give him a licking so he can see what the woman feel like. That was my husband's suggestion right now.
What is yours?
Somebody beat him up so he can see what that woman go through.
Okay, that was your husband's. What is yours?
My suggestion is how like I said, I make sure I let you know you cannot put your hand on me. And if you try it, I'm not going to give you a chance to do it again. So for me, it's you go your way, I go my way.
Okay.
I don't know no other way. I'm not going to allow it.
Okay.
We have a good day.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my suggestion is that we teach children in schools from early o'clock what constitutes abuse, what they should accept, what they should not accept, what they should dish out, so to speak, and what they should not. Right? because you can't expect to demand respect and not show respect. Okay, you get what you give. So I agree to some extent that abuse happens because the person being abused allows it. Right? I believe if women want to make it abundantly clear from the time abuse begins to show its ugly head, hey, that's not happening to me, you know. So you're going on the wrong track. I believe if they were to stand the ground, the amount of abuse will be reduced. I really think, and I'm going to say it all the time, when we teach children to both demand respect and to command respect by virtue of their behavior and so on.
I don't just lie, do I think? I don't.
When we teach children that the dignity of others is just as important as their own, when they become adults, if not all of it, some of it must stay. Some of it must remain with them. And I believe it will have the beneficial effect of reducing a lot of the sociopathic ills that we experience. When a child is taught, man, use the word indoctrinated if you want, and I'm suggesting grade 3, right? From early o'clock in primary school, as a child, when he's still very malleable, that this is what it means to be a parent. As a parent, you have to teach your child how to respect himself or herself and how to respect others. And how do we demonstrate this respect? And when you drill that into children from beginning to end, man, listen, I figure by the time they finish reform, you've saturated them so completely, immersed them into that kind of knowledge and information that they can't help but walk in that path. Because we're not perfect, we are going to have those who err and those who fall outside of that straight path. But the majority of person, I believe, will be true and faithful to the training and instruction that they were given from early o'clock. So I believe that parenting needs to be taught in schools. What does it mean to be a parent? What are you expected to do as a parent? The kind of things you are expected to pass on to your children, the kind of knowledge, the kind of skills, the kind of modeling you're expected to display to your children. We are not doing that. And so we're having these problems again and again for eons, from time immemorial, as we like to say. How do we solve it? That is the question, because we talk a lot. I am suggesting a practical solution. I would like to hear from others. How do we get men to stop abusing women? How do we get women to stop accepting abuse? How do we get... Because when a woman is going to tell you, what you call police for? Is my boyfriend, is my man? Matter of fact, I was reading a story in Bangladesh, ladies and gentlemen. In Bangladesh, a woman took her husband to court asking that he beat her twice per week. Asking the court to command him to beat her twice per week. Because if he doesn't beat her, she is not convinced that he loves her. I don't know where this thing started, that we associate abuse and pain with love, and they're antithetical. They are mutually exclusive. Where they started? Why Satan is a bad man, Why Satan get that planted in the minds of sensible, intelligent individuals? That inflicting pain and hurt and harm, and breaking an arm and blackening an eye and so on, defines love. How does that happen? I'm sorry, I'm not smart enough to understand that. Hello, caller.
Good day, Mr. Blake.
Morning, sir.
Yes, this is starting to sound too much like victim blaming as opposed to holding perpetrators accountable.
Mm.
Remember, it is not an equal relationship in the first place. What it usually amounts to, the abuse, right, is the powerful exerting influence over the powerless.
Yeah, economic
right?
and physical.
You can talk all you want about, the woman must demand something from respect from the man and all of that. But in an unequal relationship, that is not a simple thing to do.
Yeah, but my argument is that if we do this from the beginning, if we start to teach children early o'clock, it serves as a preventive it serves as a preventive as opposed to later in life, which is what we're looking at now, as corrective.
But the situation later in life is that this inequality emerges as you go through life, right? Sure, when they're all children, you can teach. Of course, you can mold them and teach them whatever you wish to teach them. But as life progresses, because of the societal norms, the way our economy is structured, the way our society is structured, the inequalities fall into place, and that then is where we have a problem. You see, I listened to another program this morning where the folks seem to be struggling with, for instance, this issue of consent. Okay, the thing is, you can find something to justify just about anything, right? And that is the reason we must have standards. If, for instance, we arbitrarily set the age of consent to 16, why do we feel that somebody who is 16 and a half is any more prepared to deal with sexuality and abuse and those things than, say, a 15-year-old? Okay? I mean, even some 25-year-olds and irresponsible with sex and abuse matters, even some 60-year-olds. Okay? So obviously, it is not a simple matter, and I would not concentrate so much on the responsibility and demanding respect and all of that. The thing is, we must set standards, right? If whatever standard we set, there are consequences, right? Then is when the partners, whichever one, would have something to fall back on in demanding respect and proper treatment. All right, that to me is what is needed.
I am saying,
you see like how once ago at least they used to say that marital law, well, the law governing marital partnerships favors or divorce law favors the woman. Mm-hmm. Okay, maybe that kind of affirmative action is what is needed here, where the law is so punitive to the perpetrator, okay, and more and is more, shall we say, it favors the victims more. Then I think they would have a leg to stand on, so to speak. But the important thing to realize, it is not an equal relationship. Listen. It's very easy for some people to say, that could never happen to me. I always demand this. But in real life, that is not how right. the relationship
But man, I am saying that whether the punishment is 1 day in prison for abusing a woman or abusing a man, for that matter, or the rest of your life, if the individual is, in other words, it serves as an incentive if it's just a day, or certainly as a disincentive if it's for life. To me, it is the material, the quality or the quantity of the punishment. If the individual has told himself, has been so taught and instructed and guided that he will not engage in abuse in the first place. So that
but Mr. Blake,
that's what I'm saying.
Nobody, no woman or man like abuse. Show me one person who would like abuse. They may tolerate it, they may have to accept it, but they never like it. Nobody can tell me that anybody would like to be abused.
Yeah, well, I don't think people should complain about that which they tolerate. That's one of my philosophies. One should not complain about that which he tolerates.
One should not what?
Complain about that which he tolerates.
No, but that's what I'm saying. There are many reasons why they would not complain about it. Okay? There are repercussions. Again, it goes back. This is not an equal relationship. All right? So there are many reasons for that. But you really feel that they actually like the abuse, or don't complain because they like the abuse?
No, I'm not saying that. I've made it clear earlier. All I just
And
quoted an
so the
instance.
thing is, what do you do about it, as you correctly asked? And I'm saying one of the things that you do about it is affirmative action in the sense that you make it easier. For instance, I know we can go overboard with this, and people can make all kinds of claims that they are abused when in fact it is not so. Okay? But where do you err? Don't you err? You either err on the side of the possible perpetrator, or you err on the side of the possible victim. And I'm saying that the kind of bearing in mind the problem is so endemic now, we should be erring on the side of the possible victim, the potential victim.
Yeah, okay. Now, I am saying that the problem is so endemic now that we need to treat it from the very source and teach children from early o'clock that abuse is wrong and why and how they should avoid getting...
But you know, even if you teach them from there, it's going to still happen, right? Because there are some people who are just predisposed to that sort of thing.
We have not...
And so the victims must be protected.
We have not sought to try that path. We have not tried that path. I'm suggesting we try it. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's take another caller. Hello? Oh, sorry. All right. Now, the caller spoke about... Yeah, let's take this caller.
Yes, Mr. Blake. I just listened to Mr. Matt Mahan, right? And he's talking about it's not an equal partnership. So, in what way he talking about the strength of the man and the strength of a woman, or he's talking financially?
Both.
Because to me, regardless whether the man is bringing in all the money, that don't give him the right to abuse the woman. And because he's bringing in all the money, that woman should not tolerate any abuse in any form. So that's no excuse. I don't care whether he's bringing home gold on a platter every night, every day. He have no right to abuse a woman. He have no right to put the hands on a woman. And like you say, he go to training up your children. Because as a mother, you have your little girl, you train your little girl from she's small. Don't accept no form of abuse. That's something I try to drill in my daughter. I have one daughter. Don't let no man disrespect you, call you outside of your name. Otherwise, don't let him, like I said, don't let him blow his stinking breath in your face when he done disrespect you. And as a son, you train your son to respect woman.
Exactly.
And you know how a man is gonna treat their wife from how they treat their mother. When you see these boys disrespect their mother, they're gonna disrespect you too. So it starts from here down. But in any case, as a woman, do not let any man disrespect you. Do not accept any form of disrespect or any abuse. I would rather sleep on the house than put up with abuse or disrespect. You have a good day.
Okay, thank you. But we have to admit that the relationship is really often an unequal one. The man tends to be physically stronger, and that lends itself to physical abuse. And very often as well, the man is economically more stable, economically more capable of providing. And so, in that way, it's also unequal. A lot of women, for example, tolerate abuse for the sake of financial support. Let's take this caller.
Yes, good morning, Brother Blake. Thanks for the introduction this morning. My take on that, one of the solutions we can do, we could start back in school.
We can do it?
Very early age.
Sorry, I didn't get that. We can start.
We used to have, I remember, I think it was the civic lessons. I think early on, and that's about maybe 57 years ago. I don't want to really...
Yeah, I'm not understanding you too clearly, sir.
Hello?
Yeah, I was saying I'm not understanding you too clearly. I barely got 5% of what you've said so far.
No, I was saying that I remember years ago when we had this program in school about civics.
Yes.
Had to do with community and family and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I think that needs to be introduced back in school, because a lot of the parents, they don't know how to raise their kids. They don't know how to bring them up the way they should.
Don't know.
In order to respect each other. And I think we need to have a program back in school, from kindergarten up, so we could instill those values in our kids. Now, I have some, I'm going to branch out to something else. I was supposed to call in there last Tuesday, I think it was, about the fasting and so forth.
Oh, it was you, okay.
I apologize, I wasn't able to get you, but fasting is one of the things that I think everyone should do. We fast for a lot of different purposes. Well, first let me say this. I have done this, from past experience, and let me give a testimony as what the benefits of fasting can do. I used to suffer from high blood pressure, sleep apnea, and these type of disease. And I was over 165 pounds. Now I'm down to 198. But I had to make a drastic change in my diet. Well, there's a spiritual aspect to it. There's also a physical aspect also to it. And some people, we all have a choice. Some use the spiritual way, some use just the physical aspect of it. But everything, I think, combined. Before I started to address my issue, I prayed about it, and then I made certain changes. I cut out certain things, because when you're doing something, you want to achieve anything, there's preparation. You have to have preparation. If you're baking a cake, you have to get the flour, you have to get the butter, you have to get the eggs, you have to get the sugar and different things, the spices. So it's the same way with anything that you want to achieve. You must have some form of preparation. Now, I did that, and I started fasting. I fasted at one point. I fasted for 3 days, and without eating anything, just drinking water and drinking tea, bubble tea and stuff like that.
Yeah, you have another minute, please.
Hello?
Yeah, you have another minute. We're getting close to the end of the program.
Oh yeah, okay. And then but what I'm saying is just I was able to overcome my blood pressure and my sleep apnea and all this type of stuff. So it benefits me, and it gives me more energy. I'm able to do a lot more things than I usually do, and I think that if a lot of us would do things like that, we would benefit much better.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Okay, so basically we have a testimony in favor of fasting, and we I think already have concluded that fasting, in fact, is a beneficial exercise or process which one should undergo from time to time. Let's take this caller. Hello.
Good morning, Brother Blake.
Morning, sir.
Brother Blake, I born in the 60s.
Right.
And come up more in the 70s, grew up from the 60s to the 70s, and come up to be a grown-up coming up.
Yes.
And I could see that where woman was getting abused by men, because money was very little. And some of the men, them, when they work for the money, they go out, they drink. Some of them had more than one woman. And I believe that was the time for abusing was really going on with man. I see men bang up woman, do man, all kind of things. Right? But I believe that in these modern times now, no woman has no call to abuse. You know the reason for that? They go with my knowledge, they go with my wisdom and everything now. So everything now, they kind of see what went on with the parents, them they come up, and people get more advanced in education and everything now. So I do not see the reason why any human should abuse. Any human abuse. Right now in the Federation of St. Nevis, they cause themselves to be abused. You understand? Because I know a man out there, man treating them good. And we leave a man, put on abuse him, woman, wife, children, them, don't support the children, go to jail, and this woman still go and have a relationship with him, and turn around the children for him. And she the one turn around get abused too. So them cause themselves to get abused. But I don't see right now that we and the woman supposed to tell us to supposed to let a man abuse them in this modern time. Because women are more independent, work for themselves and everything now. Knowledge increase. You understand? So I don't see it. I don't see it. If any woman let a man abuse them because they want a man abuse them. Because too much of man and woman in the world right now. If you do me something and you do me anything wrong, and I want to move my life to somebody else. You understand? I move my life with somebody else. But I don't have no reason to see no woman in this federation getting too much abuse. I see man get abused by woman. I believe man get abused in the federation more than woman. But only because man don't go there and report the problem. If a lot of man go there report, go to the gender affairs, go to the station when these things take place with them, you will hear the amount of man out there who getting abused. Okay then, Brother Blake.
Okay, thank you. I know that's a feeling, that's a belief that a lot of people hold, both men and women, that women tend to attract or cause abuse on themselves by virtue of the things they do, the things they say, the way they dress, and so on. A lot of women believe that, a lot of men believe that. I am not sure if we will ever be able to solve that. The jury will forever be out with respect to the merits and demerits of that argument, whether it is in fact so. What we do know is that we want the abuse to stop, and I'm suggesting that it can stop, perhaps not stop because man will forever be sinful and commit acts like those, but I believe it can be severely reduced if we teach children from early o'clock how wrong it is. Let's take this caller. Hello.
Morning, Mr. Blake.
Morning, sir.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
As usual, very interesting program.
Thank you.
I totally agree with your point of view in terms of training.
Mm-hmm.
Because, a child born, they don't know a lot of things. And as they grow up, as the time goes by, the household, what they see, it's amazing how children can adapt. You can bring a child from China, and in no time they speak English, and vice versa.
Right.
So it's all you have to instill these things early o'clock, Mr. Blake.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Very, very early. And things have changed, as Mr. Politics was saying. Things have changed. There's not the situation where you have the woman at home all day. And even that in itself, a lot of persons never sit down and try to work out. Household work is a lot of work, Mr. Blake. I could attest to that. I live by myself and I love to do housework. So some men feel like the lady sitting home, or she just cooking, washing. It's a lot of work. If you have to reverse it, a lot of men would never want to take on household work. They will prefer to go out and work whatever work they're doing and then come back home and relax themselves. So sometimes men in general take a lot of things for granted. But the reality, Mr. Blake, is just that. And to reduce it, because it needs to be reduced, but it happened on a regular basis, it happen on both sides, and the way to go about it is to start from the early. That's my remedy in relation to reducing the abuse as it is at a high level. Instill these things in children early o'clock, because even sometimes even they're playing with their toys, you see how they operate from early o'clock, and you have to say no, you're not supposed to be, and these things, and then they will change and realize, okay, then this is not the correct way, or this is not the right way, or whatever. But it has to be done early o'clock. And maybe one of the problems, because of this so many single homes, some of them, the women, they're frustrated. They don't have the time, because you have to have time with children. Not putting children in front of TV. That do not solve the problem, Mr. Blake. But that is the modern way we feel like looking after children, give them a tablet, they're on the tablet all day, they look at different things, and sometimes we don't even know what they're looking at.
Exactly.
So it's a serious problem, but what growing up with us, timing was the key. And when I said time, quality time, showing the children pointers. When they ask a question, you answer them, you make sure they understand what you are saying, rather than giving them or putting them in front of TV and just letting them do as they like. And person just have to restructure their life if we want a better society. That's my 2 pence for today, Mr. Blake.
Thank you very much. Much appreciated. If you take the example, for example, of fire. Once upon a time, we used to have a lot of fires in St. Kitts, set caused by children. And a number of them used to perish in those fires. Since the fire department, in its wisdom, started the fire prevention courses for primary schoolers a number of years ago, we've seen a drastic reduction in the number of fires caused by children misusing fire-causing instruments and so on. And then, of course, the Bible commands that we train up a child in the way he should go, and then when he's old, he will not depart from it. That is subject to a number of interpretations. But clearly, if we teach a child from day one how he should behave, even if he veers from that path at some point, the Bible can't be wrong. The Bible is never wrong. It's never wrong. Then sooner or later he's going to return to that straight and narrow path. Let's take another caller. Hello. Hello. Yes, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning. You might be our last caller. Carry on.
When these people talking about women getting advantage and them thing there,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of man don't get bang off a woman, no? Because let me tell you something. I grew up next to Vacation High School D.
Right.
I didn't have no school. There was cane and cotton.
Right.
And I had a sister. Every time she man come home and they got argument, who think I knock first? She knock first. Then only got one with a body in the house. Yes, me see like a woman knock first.
Okay.
Just in argument and they start to knock first.
Yeah, I've seen that myself.
And if you turn off, you see something like your mother, when your mother argue, you as a man or a boy, you turn off, otherwise you're going to disrespect them. And that's the problem.
Yeah.
All over the world, all over the worst quotes every day. And man and woman, young people, 18, 19, 20, 30, all them kind of thing, they got more problem. And you all the problem with that man and woman. Because some work, some not work. Some of them go man and work, are bringing all the money. Some of them go woman, are bringing all the money. And it cause problem. Sometimes a woman got the man outside, you got your man outside, and the twice to have it together. It cause problem. That's only a problem.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Blake.
Thank you very much. So that was our last caller, and I used to sublet a room in my house, and the tenant's girlfriend used to slap him about on a regular basis whenever it was petty. All right. Thank you very much for being a part of Frank and Candid for today and for the week. I hope you have a very refreshing weekend, one which draws you closer to the Almighty, and we'll see you again next week. Until such time, please remember, do the right thing. Have a good one.
ZIZ Radio, entertaining the nation, enjoyed by the world.
At ZIZ, we want to take a moment to salute our small business owners and encourage you to support them. Our small business owners